life, his adult life, has fought. And to be a president, he has always been in the politics of Ghana. I believe he has a legacy to be happy about. He has done his best. And as he goes home to rest as a statesman that he will be, he's going to lend his vast knowledge to Ghana, as the former President Kufuor has been doing, and of course to the NPP, his party. So for me, I believe that he's just topping the whole cake. He's putting the icing on the cake of his 8 years in office. And as he goes, his legacy, we would all know it. You know, there's this adage in Chi that when the frog dies, that is when you see its length. So as His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa is exiting, we are all going to see the proper length and breadth and things that he has done in the last 8 years.
And subsequently, you take a look at a legacy that he also has to protect. What will be your expectations tomorrow?
Well, personally, I don't think there is any legacy.
Enra, TV3 so na me hu say sa to me everyone sa pa because there's this communication team member or MPP mo efe ne Ellen Ebusia before say ombenya anase ombe lose election 2024 we Ebusia lady no anase woman no okọ TV so nsem a wo ka no to say o man no bro bia so wo TV3 anase ne interview bia anase discussion bia because we wo bia na no ebro bia de so but enra TV3 so one communicator where NDC ne efe na atwa Ebusia or silencing lady way because utie nsema Ellen of NPP communication team member for bawumia busunya ne kasam bibia kire say lady we obre no once but in real life no this lady is toxic enye wompo ne yekom but nsema lady ne kan wo show no so enra Ellen ekire mu say Nana Addo Akufo-Addo enkonko tena fiedi because waja legacy kese atwo wo Ghana we nsema Ellen ekan TV3 na busunya na atwa esisu dua ama Ellen etiase say nsema wo kanon a no go area hwe na wanko se ye kase obi agya legacy e de ama na chirimba ye kase obi agya legacy e de ama na kuromba na Nana Akufo-Addo ye zero eni kwan so de na no to legacy semu se ye ka legacy asema se ye kase president ada se ex president bi agya legacy e de ama na nkofo ne chirimba ne ma Nana Akufo-Addo enyi ne din free because Nana Akufo-Addo enja legacy bia enfa ma Ghana for na busunya me pese me kasa bebre yen hwese ndia eye na atwe of NDC a silence Ellen of MPP ewo eye live show no so I say malikbasintale TV so we and first number channel so bon humor dey subscribe FMIN.
The president has a legacy to protect, but more so to communicate to us. What are your expectations for tomorrow in his last State of the Nation address?
Good morning to our viewers and Happy New Year to them again. The President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo for the past 8 years has communicated to all of us, right from day one when he started in 2017, what he wanted to do, what he has done, and what his vision for Ghana has been. In the last 8 years, as he said in his New Year's address, there have been good times, there have been bad times, there have been terrible times, but for me, and somebody who has not worked so closely with him, I haven't worked with him, I did work in the party, I believe that he's done his best as any human being. His term of office is over, and as an 80-year-old man who practically all his life, his adult life, has fought, and to be a president, he has always been in the politics of Ghana. I believe he has a legacy to be happy about. He has done his best. And as he goes home to rest as a statesman that he will be, he's going to lend his vast knowledge to Ghana, as the former President Kufuor has been doing, and of course to the NPP, his party. So for me, I believe that he's just topping the whole cake. He's putting the icing on the cake of his 8 years in office. And as he goes, his legacy, we would all know it. You know, there's this adage in Chi that when the frog dies, that is when you see its length. So as His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa is exiting, we are all going to see the proper length and breadth and things that he has done in the last 8 years. I wish to say thank you to him. He did his best as a president of Ghana, and I wish him luck. I want him to have long life. He should live long to see some of the benefits of his legacy. And I'm expecting him to tell us, in a nutshell, tomorrow, all the things that has happened, all the positives, all the negatives, all the challenges, and also to leave some advice to the incoming president. The incoming president is no stranger. He's been at this job before, so he should know exactly what he's coming to take over. But then he's also been in opposition for 8 years, so there are quite a number of things that the president would have to let him know. And I believe he will do that. For me, I'm looking forward to another, let's say we have 4 years of politics to do, 4 years of the John Mahama Part 2, and all the promises that he has put in. So we are looking forward to that. But His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, I believe, is exiting on a good note.
And following that, what will be some of the key sectorial achievements you would perhaps try to outline that you have identified over the period?
I think one of the things that the president would be noted for would be education. And through his ministers of education, I think he's had 2 ministers of education. The first one being napo, pushing for the free SHS to be established and all these issues. The free SHS, as he said, has brought hope to a lot of Ghanaians. So let's see how that goes. And I believe that his second education minister, being Dr. Addo, pushing for the STEM schools, pushing for us to get our children to be more critical thinkers instead of all of us what we went through in education, where we're learning everything we chew and forget, and all the stuff that they are trying to push for the children in the education in terms of STEM. For me, I believe the future is STEM. So, and the next government should also continue. When you read the NDC manifesto, it looks like they will continue with it. So for me, one of his greatest achievements would be in education. And then the second one would be the digitalization of our economy and pushing us to also move into the fourth or fifth industrial era of the whole world. Everybody's going digital. So that's one of the things that this government has pushed very hard. Yes, this government went through quite a lot with COVID and everything. But from when I picked from the finance minister and the little conversations I've had, we seem to have ended last year on a growth of about 7-point-something%. And that is, I mean, far, far better than when we went through 2-3 years ago, when at certain points we're actually in the negatives. So for me, I think that with the economy and everything that has happened, this president and his presidency have done well. Let's see what the incoming government will do. But for these 3 areas, I believe Nana Addo Akufo-Addo did his best.
Natre, a great reflection of a man who became president subsequently. You take a look at a legacy that he also has to protect. What will be your expectations tomorrow?
Well, personally, I don't think there is any legacy. But before I come to that, I think that in the more recent past, no truer words have resonated with me than the words of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in January 2017, when he also presented his final State of the Nation's address. And if you permit me, I'll just read excerpts of it. It says that he would allow history to be the judge of how he has actually served the nation and how well he has run his lap of the relay. He goes on to say that he has done that with the best of intentions and has given his all for God and country. And let me remind viewers that these reflections of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama are not plagiarized speeches. They were not plagiarized. They were born out of sober reflections of how he has actually managed the country. Now, fast forward, we have Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, who actually, in the same year, 2017, presented his first State of the Nation's address. And if you permit me, he also stated that he started hurry to give still one district, one factory, told us that he was in a hurry to give us multi-purpose industrial parks. Today, I don't know how many of these that Nana Addo Akufo-Addo told us in 2017 that he was in a hurry, he's being in a hurry to achieve. And so, in discussing the President's State of the Nation's address, it is very important to juxtapose the Ghana that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama left for Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, or the NDC left for Nana Addo Akufo-Addo when we exited office in the first week of 2017. and then the Ghana as we have it now. By the time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was leaving office, we had an economy with a status of B-. Today, Ghana is a junk status economy. Yaka janka, a baller. That's what junk actually means.
Well, the president said we're recovering because
now,
within the protest,
with head we are recovering. You remember when?
And that's from the statistical service and then also the finance minister.
You remember when Ken Ofori-Atta was finance minister, domestic finance minister, before he was made international finance minister. He told us that we are turning the corner, we are recovering. That is what they will continually say to us. Do you know that Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has actually borrowed more than cumulatively all governments under the Fourth Republic, to the extent that they overborrowed in the capital market and we were caned out? My expectation is that these are the truer reflections of the Ghanaian people, and that must also reflect in the President's State of the Nation's address. When under President John Dramani Mahama, the NPP actually mocked single-digit inflation. Today, they can't even the double digits, they are struggling. Even double digits, they are struggling. They mock President Mahama that what is single-digit inflation. And we thought that when they came into office, they would do better. You know what? Even if you can't keep it at what President Mahama left it, maybe the rate at which it increased should not be what you set out to criticize. But inflation has came to bawumia and its economic management team that today, the solid thing they said they have, it has actually liquidated. It has evaporated. Now, Ro, we go on to actually compare the CD that President Mahama left for Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. At the time, they made mockery of the CD that was selling at 4 cedis to $1. And they told us that they have Dr. Bawumia from the Bank of Ghana to come and actually stabilize the CD. So what I'm saying in effect is that Dr. Bawumia's job description was simple: stabilize the CD and give us a robust economy. Today, by the time Nana Addo Akufo-Addo decides that he would actually award Dr. Bawumia, I'm not sure that he was actually awarded as regards the job description that was set for him. He was actually awarded for national cohesion and what have you. Why is somebody fighting? I thought that he would be bold enough, or Nana Addo Akufo-Addo would be bold enough to tell him in the face that you have not actually done as the job was prescribed to you. Now, you see, when the NDC was also leaving office, we left very strategic cash buffers. We left the Ghana infrastructure investment that had over $270 million and other cash buffers. Today, the NPP cannot account for any of them. They promised one constituency $1 million. I don't know if our members of parliament or our MCs have received cumulatively $8 million and cannot account for. And so what I'm saying is that this is a man who says, I was in a hurry, not knowing he was actually in a hurry to worsen Ghana's corruption perception index. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo was in a hurry to actually burden the Ghanaian with taxes. When he stated he was in a hurry in 2017, he was in a hurry to make our city more hata-hata, like he said. And when he said he was in a hurry, he was actually in a hurry to give people all forms of haircuts. Is that the hurry that President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo was in?
Is that your expectation, Nate?
He has actually, what I'm saying is that my expectation is actually juxtaposed with the Ghana that the NDC left with the NPP. And Nana Addo Akufo-Addo's own State of the Nation's address that he delivered in 2017. And so you cannot say that my expectation should not be in line with this. It must be in line with all the promises that he made. And to add insult to the injuries of Ghanaians, he decided that, of course, it is possible to award incompetence. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo tells us that it is possible to award people who have questionable conduct and character. I think that that should not have happened. Roland, what I'm saying in effect is that Nana Addo Akufo-Addo's State of the Nation's address must be a true reflection of the hardship that he has imposed on the Ghanaian people. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who have questionable conduct and character. I think that should not have happened. Roland, what I'm saying in effect is that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's State of the Nation's address must be a true reflection of the hardship that he has imposed on the Ghanaian people.